there's a couple of ways to do this problem for review. One way is a direct translation. 120 is equal to 18%, which is the value 18 per century, or 18 per centipede, 18 per 100. So 18 per, you can see the 100 right there, 18 per 100 of always means multiply. So 18% of, or multiplied by what number? So if we solve this for what number x is, we'll know the answer to the question. How can we do that? We can get rid of this divide by 100 by multiplying both sides by 100. Or we could do 18 divided by 100, which is 0.18. Then x times 0.18, we can get rid of that 0.18 by dividing by 0.18. So we're left with just x, which is the number we're looking for, is equal to 120 divided by 0.18. And that's equal to 666.6, repeating 666 and 2/3. All right, well, there's another way we can do this problem. We can set up a proportion, which is a ratio equals a ratio. And when you set up a proportion, if you like doing it this way, always start with the percent. If you know the percent, that's an entire fraction. 18% is 18 per 100. Then the 120, just focus on what is out of what. And 120 is out of what number? So 120 of what number? 120 out of what number? And that would be our setup. Now cross multiply, 18x equals 120 times 100. 18 go across and down times x. It's 18x, and that equals 120 times 100, which is 1,200. Dividing both sides by 18, guess what we get? X equals 666 and 2/3. All right, so one of those ways should make good sense to you. Stick with it. And that's it for number 20. Let's try number 22. A function for the profit. So f of x equals profit. And it depends on the input, which is x. So your profit, f, depends on what you drop into it, which is x. And that stands for the number of vases. So x is the number of sales we make. All right, so our profit's going to be $40 for each of those sales. So 40 times x. However, we did have to pay $100 to rent the space. So we're going to subtract $100 from our profit. And this is our actual profit. All right, the domain is always what's allowed to go in, which is this x thing, which is number of sales. So it says the most we can fit in our car is 200. That means the domain is going to go from no sales up to a maximum of 200 sales. We'd say that like this. The number of sales, x, is greater than or equal to 0, but it has to be less than or equal to the maximum that we can fit, which is 200. And there's our domain. The range is going to talk about the output, and the output is this whole thing, the profit. All right, if we get skunked, then we made $0, but we still had to pay for the rental space. 0 minus 100, negative 100. We'd be out $100. So the very smallest output value is we lose $100. And the biggest, so f of x has to be less than or equal to, what's the maximum money we can make? Well, if we sold all 200, our profit, f, when we sell 200, would be 40 times 200, which is 8,000. Take away 100, which is 7,900. So there's our range. Our output profit is greater than or equal to -$100 and less than or equal to 7,900. All right, this asks what is f of 40, which means when you drop in 40 into the f box, what comes out? Whatever gets dropped in gets set right there. So we'll say f of whatever gets dropped in equals 40 times whatever gets dropped in minus 100. But what's getting dropped in is 40 pieces were sold. So 40 will go in the parentheses. And now f of x, f of 40, your profit is equal to 1,600 take away 100, which is $1,500. And that's answer to E. All right, for part E, what if f of x, your profit is $2,220, then how many objects did we sell? How many origami projects did we sell? Well, we're going to use this equation again, but 2,220 is the f of x, which is the left side. And then we can solve for x, which is how many we sold. Here we go. F of x is 2,220. That's equal to 40x minus 100. If we solve for x, x stands for the number of sales, which is exactly what they're asking us for. So we're going to solve for x. Add 100. We'll add 100 to both sides so that the negative and positive cancel out. All right, and now just to get rid of times 40, we'll divide both sides by 40. And now we have x, because 40 divided by 40 is 1x. And on the other side, we have 58. There it is. We'll have 58 sales, and that will cause us to make a profit of $2,220. So that's how you do that problem. I hope this little discussion has helped.